I'm being censored by YouTube. Oh, I wonder why. Well, some people might say it's because you've got a big mouth, maybe. But it's very hard not to say what you're thinking when you see the stuff going on around you that is so disgusting and so, well, mustn't say this word, ashist. Put an F in front of it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, those sort of words. And other words as well I've noticed, such as names, such as rump, if you know what I mean. Yeah, all those words and, you know, all that ones like aga, you know. I'm finding a lot of these videos where I'm using those words or names repeatedly. My videos are being censored. I kid you not. Now, it is very, very frustrating. You see there's 2 videos there with the little orange marks. It means they're basically being throttled. Not suitable for ads. Now, okay, some people out there might not be doing this for ad revenue. But it does bloody help, you know. And it does actually encourage you to carry on. It's really, really frustrating. Now, we are fortunate that there are some people, very kind people, who donate to the channel. Whether it be for the super thanks or Patreon and all those sort of things, you know. And it does really, really help. It helps you just, well, it encourages you to carry on. It encourages to flood YouTube with more videos, if you know what I mean. Usually exposing and talking about the tyranny that is actually going on at the moment. But if they're throttling you, it's not very encouraging, is it? It's really not. Now, other YouTubers, including a friend of mine who's been doing it for some while, he stopped uploading videos because of this. And I understand why he has. I get it. It's censorship. And it makes you think, what's the point? What's the point? Yes, you are trying to expose stuff and what have you, but you've got to live as well. And don't get me wrong, this channel isn't my primary income, but it does contribute. You see, because I spend a lot of time on the channel. You know, as you probably realise, if you look at my videos, you'll see that I upload a lot of videos in the shorts and the long form. A lot of videos, more than I should do, really. But there's a lot to be said. Now, I understand other channels out there like Midas Networks, is it? MTM? They upload videos that have multiple stories within one video, but they tend to be quite long. I don't necessarily want to do that, you know. I just want to be able to get a point across. And how I feel about it as well, you know, to be honest. There's one thing I won't do, and that is lie to you. I'll make mistakes, like anybody, you know. I'll be honest about that. But I'm not going to deliberately go out there and lie, because it goes against my grain, it really does. But I don't know about you, but I've been lied to too many times through my life, and it just drives me absolutely insane. And I just feel I just can't trust people. And I don't want to feel like that. Do you know what I mean? And I know this is a bit of a random video, but I'm just trying to make a point. Because it is very, very frustrating. Now, I know, okay, sometimes I might be a little bit coarse. I might be a bit risque, you know, but I don't actually mean any harm in it. I just want to get a point across. I know full well that I'm never going to be able to turn the minds of these people who vote for people like him, you know. And it's sad to say, I've realised that with what's gone on in the United Kingdom, you know, regarding the Brexit and Boris Johnson, you know, all those fraudulent people, Nigel Farage, the people who fall in love with these people, you're not going to change their minds until they get either hit personally or find they've got no money. And that's what's happening, you know, regarding, you know, the buffoon in the White House. And it's not surprising, is it? Quite frankly, he's managed to go bankrupt about 6 times. You know, casinos, for Christ's sake. How the hell do you bankrupt a casino? It just frustrates me that people never seem to learn. So I do say things that might be a little bit, some people might see as derogatory towards them. And it is, because I think, quite frankly, it's rather stupid. And stupid is as stupid does. Now, I'm not surprised that YouTubers like myself are being censored when we use phrases or words that they might say go against their terms of service, yet right-wing channels out there seem to get away with literally murder. But that doesn't surprise me either. You see, in the day, the CEOs of Alphabet, YouTube and all that, they went to see Donald Trump, didn't they? They went to the inauguration. They went to see him and handed over a load of money to bribe him. Suckled on his old you-know-what. That chocolate thing that happened to be a starfish. What have I got to do? Have I got to talk in code? Who's going to understand? Because most people are going to understand the code, are they? Won't have a code sheet. You don't. It's just nuts. And channels like mine, I would say, sod, I can't be bothered anymore. I just let people wallow in their own mess, if you know what I mean. And it's, like I say, it's not just me. There's other left-leaning channels. No, I'm not going to say I'm hard left. I'm not going to say I'm ultra woke or what have you. I'll say I'm woke. I don't think there's anything wrong with being absolutely in tune with social depravity and what have you, with other people's needs, what you see or you deem as in their best interests. Of course I'm not. And when people go out there and they're trying to tell us that they are Christians, when they clearly are not, I just find the whole thing very frustrating. It does make me feel that why do we YouTubers and other content creators on this platform, but also others, why they bother? I don't know why I do sometimes. It's not for the money. Although it's blinking helpful when you do. I've had good months, but most of all I get really, really bad months. And I've been kind of like treading water for the last few years. I've been in this channel long enough. If the channel was, if I was better and the channel was doing better, well then quite frankly, I might be on par with some of the other channels out there who are doing really well. And good luck to them. I want them to do well, But it seems heavily weighted towards right-leaning channels, those that support the current madness that's going on. And it just, will it backfire on them? On these channels? No, because what they will do is they will just, they'll turn on, they'll do a complete 180 when necessary. As soon as somebody else that they feel is leaning in a different direction, they'll do everything they need to do to make sure that they are on par with them, so they get preferential treatment or don't get throttled themselves. Unless it's obviously the European Union at all. In the day, if you break the rules there, well, you're breaking the rules. And, YouTube and X and all those platforms and Facebook, what have you, they're all going to get throttled and fined around 6% of their turnover, global turnover, if they carry on the way that they are. But they don't care. Because they're making multiple billions of dollars. They'll just carry on, they just cost it in. It becomes a cost of business. It's very frustrating, but obviously, any help we can get, brilliant, I do appreciate it, and so do my dogs. But it's just not just that, is it? At the end of the day, if I can get these videos circulating, obviously the better ones, because some of them are a bit lame, but if I get my good videos circulating, that would make a huge difference to the channel, try to get the point across, and hopefully might change some minds. That's got to be the biggest goal, because the side effect of that is, obviously, the more circulation you get, you might earn a few more pennies, and then it keeps the channel going. So it's just, sharing the videos. If you can't help in any other way, just sharing the videos would really, really would help make a difference, because YouTube would see that as a positive action on the in the algorithm area. But I do feel, And I'm sure there's others out there as well. I do feel the channels, but I can see it, actually, to be fair. I can see it for myself. I can see it in my stats, because I am having so many videos. If I click on that one, there's another one. You know, this one isn't even live yet. Has already been limited. You know? How am I supposed to fight that? So they reckon it's not suitable for most advertisers. That's what they're saying here. So they haven't actually demonetised it. It just means they're not going to show it as much. Or I'm not going to get any advertising on it. Oh, and this one's been confirmed by a review. I asked for it to be reviewed before I make it live. And they've still said no. You've only got to get a trumper, haven't you? Doing the review. They're done for, aren't you? Quite frankly. Anyway, what do you reckon now? Do you feel that your feed is also being censored? Because the feed is supposed to be there to feed you whatever you are actually watching at any one time. But the problem with that is it becomes biased. It doesn't really give you any nuance. You know, sometimes you need to chew on what you disagree with to come up with, so you can debate it, I suppose. You know, I check out loads of right-wing stuff. You know, and obviously left-wing stuff as well, because they're the ones I subscribe to generally. But when I get a lot of right-wing stuff, it gives me something to make a comparison with. And some of it is just so mind-numbingly, not just bizarre, just ridiculously stupid. How people are coming up with these conclusions, like Candace Owens, for instance, saying that Emmanuel Macron's wife, Brigitte Macron, is a man. You know, that kind of madness. There's so much of it out there. Then obviously you've got the Andrew Tates, etc., etc., etc. All this stuff has been obviously shared online as though it is real, as though it's something to be admired. Nigel Farage, you know, the Reform Party in the UK, even he, you know, uses Andrew Tate as a source of information. If this doesn't change, we're all done for. If, for instance, there isn't that balance on the in the algorithm, and also with the amount of creators out there, if there aren't enough left-wing people out there, where's the balance? Where's the debate? It's like having an excessive majority in Parliament. You can just push absolutely everything through without question. We need the people, the YouTubers out there who, and you know, TikTokers and whoever out there, to give their perspective on whatever side it might be, but we need some balance. We need more people, not less. But when you're being squeezed by, shadow banned, some people might say, by YouTube, and then, it's like I say, it's not very inspiring, is it? Just look at my point of view, you know? End of the day, this does supplement my income. And if it stops doing that, I have to think, well, I need to better supplement it with something else. Maybe I'll work more on my other channels, because I've got my woodworking channels and stuff as well, which don't earn much at all. Maybe I should be putting my emphasis on those. But I always seem to come back to this, because it just feels important. Only on a small scale. But you're talking about numbers, aren't you? You're talking about more seats at the theatre. Or more showings. One or the other. Anyway, what do you reckon? Because I am actually really concerned about this, because I think the narrative can end up being pushed in one direction, to the right, because there isn't enough people out there to defend the left. Common sense, if you know what I mean. Anyway, please leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to support the channel, like I mentioned earlier, you know, there are the links down below. You've got Patreon, you've got memberships, you've got Super Fangs, buy us coffee, all that sort of stuff as well. You've got PayPal links if you want. But you have to go via the website for that. Oh, dear me. It's very, very, very frustrating. Wouldn't you say? Toodaloo.